Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome into another episode of the Run Your Day podcast. Dan Hafner, your host, joining you here today, my friends. The topic is this: never start in neutral. Appreciate you guys coming on today. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. So, I was reading an article the other day, and it just kind of made me think about this and kind of reminded me of the essence of this show, the Run Your Day show. And basically talked about never starting your day in neutral. And I'm just kind of adapting this article. I think it was actually a chapter in a book. I think I'm confusing that with another episode I'm doing here. This was a chapter in a book I've been reading, and talked about never starting your day in neutral and being in control of where you're going as you start your day. You think about a car. You know, you can either be in drive, neutral, or reverse. To get around, you put the car in drive and you go forward. You're always going forward, whether you're going the wrong way, whether you're going left, right, up, down, whatever you are, right? If you're going in reverse, you can drive around in reverse. Obviously, we don't like to spend a whole lot of time in reverse. Sometimes it's required to back up to get where you need to go, just as in life. You think about an elevator. This isn't like the Willy Wonka elevator where you can go up, down, sideways, long ways, backwards ways. You remember that elevator from Willy Wonka? This is the real world, and you can only go up or down, right? And the elevator is never in neutral. It's either going up or it's going down. Now I get it. Like you could say, oh, it sits there. I get it. That's beside the point. Let's stay focused on the concept here. But this really struck me as something that I wanted to talk about as well, just because it really gets to the essence of the Run Your Day podcast, right? Like the running. The running of your day, like if you allow things to just come at you, life comes at you so quickly that if you don't have a plan, you don't have an attack plan, you're defaulting into things, and it all comes back to this time quadrant. You're forced into the things that are other people's priorities, that aren't the important things, that are just the fires that you need to put out. You live your life reactively. And this is the most stressful, most pain in the ass way to live. Like, it just is. I was stuck there for a lot of years. I still find myself stuck in this from time to time. You know, I wake up, if I don't do the routine I'm going to talk to you guys here about in a minute, the night before, I do find myself kind of drifting into the morning, especially, and the next day, where, without a plan, and it just does not work out well. Now, granted, I've gotten down to the point where I've pretty much mastered my morning routine, and I still drift from time to time. But it's pretty down pat. I have a routine that I go through, and I can talk with you guys in another episode. But really, what I wanted to talk about today. So how do you prevent this starting your day in neutral, where you just kind of roll out of bed? You're checking your phone, you're scrolling through Facebook first thing. You just kind of open the fridge, look lackadaisically at what you have to eat, kind of just mope over to the couch, turn on the TV, kind of just default into whatever you got to do. And the next thing you know, you got to get ready for work. You might not even shower. You brush your teeth. You're out the door. You roll. And then the next thing you know, you're sitting at your desk and you're like, shit, what do I do now? Right? Like that's a stupid way to start a day. I mean, to be honest, if that's the way you start your day, you're listening to the right podcast, because we're going to get you in the right frame of mind. And I used to be that guy. I mean, the routine I walked you through was literally how I used to live my life about, 18 months ago. Like, I got to a point where I just would wake up and sit on the couch for 45 minutes, just checking email, checking Facebook, doing God knows what on my phone. And then the next thing I know, I'm rushing to get ready for work, and I'm out the door, and I get to work, and I'm like already tired. I'm already exhausted. I'm like, I didn't do anything. And I knew something had to change. Like, I knew that I needed to change as a person. I needed to change my approach to things. And one thing that I implemented was a morning routine, which took me a long time to master, to develop and master. But what I really want to talk to you guys about is a nightly routine. A nightly routine, because it ties back to this not starting your day in neutral. Like if you just kind of roll out of bed, you're just kind of drifting through whatever you're doing, you're in neutral or you're actually in reverse because you're not working out, you're not studying, you're not moving yourself forward in any capacity at all outside of what you have to do for your livelihood, and you're just not going to grow that way. So I don't care like what your morning routine is for now. We'll get to that later on down the road. But for right now, like when I started implementing and executing a nightly routine for myself, my game changed and everything accelerated so much faster. Like literally just taking this step that I talked about the other day about this, how did I learn from it? Like in the weekly review, I started doing that nightly and just reviewing like, what did I do during the day? What did I learn from it? And how can I rise above it? You get to do that on a daily basis. Holy shit, buckle up. You are going to be in for some real world change real freaking fast. Like it just happens. And it's a difficult discipline to get into. A lot of times a lot of us stay up late. We're playing video games or watching Netflix or doing whatever you're doing. And it's just very easy to just roll into bed. And especially if you don't have kids or, kind of in my situation, it's very easy for me to just go to bed whenever I want and just, I could be watching TV 1 second. The next second I could be literally in bed, lights out, ready to go. I don't have any children at this moment in time. Like I know for some of you out there that do have kids, like it's a process. Like it is a freaking process in itself just to make sure everyone's asleep, everything's good, everything's taken care of, everything's shut down correctly. It's a process. Like I get it. I get it. I don't have kids, but I've been around enough families at bedtime with kids to know like it is a freaking process. So I don't go through that on a day-to-day basis myself. I hopefully will in the near future. But, this nightly routine that I get into, it really helps me set up my plan of attack for the next day. And sometimes I stretch it out throughout the day. Like I'll make a list of things that I know I need to get done tomorrow. I know I need to start my day with tomorrow that are going to help me with that plan of attack. And that's just that foresight, that anticipation of, oh, this is what I have coming up. I need to make sure that I tackle this tomorrow, whatever things happen. Like you were waiting on something, a report, or another person is dependent on what you need to get done. Like, okay, I get it. Like, boom, that's on the list for tomorrow. And what I operate off of are two lists. Okay. I operate one off of what I call a hit list, which is about 4 to 5 things that I make every single day. And especially at night, the night before, I'll make at least 2 or 3. And then if I think of something while I'm sleeping or wake up, but I have a hit list, which is like, these are the things that I must get done. Like these are my focus areas, my tasks that I know I need to get done. And these are the important non-urgent things, right? The things that I'm choosing to make important and urgent. Like, and they might just be things for my business. They might be things for this podcast. They might be things for my marriage, like whatever they might be. They're not like, oh, I need to take the trash out tomorrow. Like these are like important things, right? That are actually moving my business, my life forward. And then what I also have, I've kind of slacked on this lately. It's easy to you kind of have to make a backlog of it. You can call it your backlog. I call it my shit to-do list, where I will literally, if I just have like things I need to do that just really don't have a time limit, or project ideas, or just idea generation things that I know I want to get done someday, I'll write those down on my shit to-do list, which then I can, if I'm struggling to find things on my hit list for the day, I can always reference back to that shit to-do list and be like, oh yeah, this is a good time to do that. I don't really have, I only got like one thing on my hit list so far. So, oh yeah, I could do this project. That's okay. I can make that work. So just before you go to bed every night, just making a list, whether you write this down, whether you use an app, whether you use whatever you use, just keeping a list of these things for your hit list, knowing what you're starting the day with tomorrow is going to allow you to wake up outside of this neutral gear. You're not going to start your day in neutral. You're going to start your day in drive from the moment your feet hit the ground, because you know what you have to get done. And this, like I said, this changed everything. Like if you hit the ground, if your feet hit the ground in the morning, you don't have a list of things to do. You don't have a attack plan of how your day is going to go, what is structured. You're just going to drift. Like you're taking those, it might take you 2 to 3 hours to finally formulate that plan and see what other people in your life are doing and how the circle's going and what the flow of the day is going to be like. And by that time, you've already lost half the day and you're already way behind the people that are executing this type of way in this method, right? Like you're way behind me because I wake up like, I don't want to say 100% of days, but probably 95, 96% of days, I wake up with a plan. Like I know what I need to get done. I start executing on it right after my morning routine. I'm ready to go. So I've already bought back those 2 to 3 hours for myself by simply doing a little bit of planning. There's this old saying, I'd rather, if you have 6 hours to chop down a tree, spend the first 4 hours sharpening the axe. Like if you're just swinging away with a dull axe, you're going to make progress, but you're not going to make as fast of progress or as much progress, right? So take the time every night to sharpen this axe, prevent yourself from starting your day in neutral. And it does something to your brain too. It just kind of shifts the focus in your mind in the morning to be like, well, yeah, there's chaos and there's different things flying at me and I got breakfast to do and workouts and work things and emails and kid things and friends things and traffic and all this other chaos. But having this list of things to just always come back to, it centers you, it focuses you. If any of you are into meditation, like this single point of focus, something to always come back to, like your breath, something that's constant, that's there, brings this presence to you. And that's what this hit list does for me, at least. And it can do that for you as well. So like I said, there's really no right or wrong way to do this. You can use a notebook, like literally a notebook and a pen, a sticky note, any kind of app out there. I don't really have any recommendations. I don't really use an app. I go old school. I do paper. I used to do the app thing and it just didn't work for me. So I go old school. I have, my journal, my notebook, any kind of sticky notes, whatever I need. And that's how I keep track of things. And I review those on a weekly basis to know what I actually did and what I accomplished. So even if you have to start with just 1 to 2 things per day, or even 2 to 3, just start building your hit list up. Sit down on a Sunday and think of all your shit to do. And this can be like, 3-4 months out of like, oh, I want to do this project. I need to do this thing eventually. We have this birthday coming up. We have this trip coming up. We have, whatever it can be. Like your shit to-do list can be endless. It's a backlog of things that you have to get done. But the hit list is the important stuff. That's what changes your brain. That's what changes your mind into being focused on, okay, out of all this chaos, all these things to do, these are the focus items. I'm going to crush these things in front of me, and boom, those are done. I won the day. I ran my day. It did not run me. Because if you're starting your day in neutral, you're losing. You're freaking losing. Like just straight up. If you're starting your day in neutral, you are losing in the game of life. And that doesn't mean you have to keep losing. You can fix this. You can do this. I know you can. I believe in you. So start making your hit list. Share anything with that you guys create on the website. You can always share on Twitter. To #RunYourDay, or even share it on our Twitter page or our Facebook page as well. Would love to see, a lot of other people can get value and glean value from what your hit list is. I'm sure I could even get some value. It's always good to have collaboration and different ways of doing things. So that's going to be it today, my friends. Remember, just don't start your day in neutral. Start getting your hit list together and start crafting an attack plan for your day to move forward so you can run your day. All right, my friends, that's it. That's Dan Hafner signing off. Head over to runyourday.run. As always, try our membership free for 7 days. We have the mastermind, I believe, is coming soon. And there's always all kinds of resources over there for you guys as well. So that's going to be it. Appreciate you guys joining today. Make it a great rest of your day.
Thank you for listening to the Run Your Day podcast. We hope you enjoyed today's show. If you did, feel free to share today's show with friends and family. Until next time, have a great day.